بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Ramadan is starting next month. So let us see what the Holy Quran says about Ramadan. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان ومن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا 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 العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون. This is chapter 2, verse 185, and its English translation is: the month of Ramadan is that in which the Quran was revealed, a guidance to men and clear proofs of the guidance and the criteria. So, whoever of you is present in the month, he shall fast therein, and whoever is sick or on a journey, he shall fast a light number of days. Allah desires ease for you, and He desires not hardship for you. And He desires that you should complete the number, and that you should exalt the greatness of Allah for having guided you, and that you may give thanks. Next verse I want to recite to you is, if I can find it. I've got too many markers in the Holy Quran. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Iqra bismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq. Khalaqal insana min 'alaq. Iqra wa rabbukal akramul ladzi 'allama bil qalam. Allamal insana ma lam ya'lam. This is chapter 96, verses 1 to 5. Read in the name of your Lord who creates man from a clot. Read, and your Lord is the most generous, who taught by the pen, taught man what he knew not. When we Sadaqallahul Aliyyul Azim, whenever we talk about or think about Ramadan, we always talk about sacrifice and charity, etc., which of course is correct. Ramadan is about charity and so on. But we forget one important aspect of this holy month. And that is that the whole of this month is devoted to seeking knowledge. The whole of this month is devoted to seeking knowledge. And that aspect is never stressed. We never ask, why is it that we are required, for example, to read the Holy Quran during this month? And people who do read it, they quickly, those who know how to recite Arabic, they quickly go through it, and then they finish it without putting any effort into understanding the Holy Quran. The Holy Prophet said, the ink of the scholar weighed on the day of judgment, and the blood of the martyr, but the ink of the scholar will outweigh the blood of the martyr. Now, I know what some people are going to say, and they say, well, this is a weak hadith, and so on and so forth. Imam Sayyuti, he said the hadith is weak, but he didn't discard it as being fabricated. And weak hadith, if it's a question of doctrine, belief, or some legal matter, you may disregard them because of doubts about their authenticity. But remember, a weak hadith does not mean that the hadith is fabricated. Weak may mean, weak does mean weak in a technical sense. For example, if there's a chain of narrators and there's one person who can't remember who told him this hadith of the Holy Prophet, then it will be regarded as weak. But it doesn't mean to say that it's unreliable or it's fabricated. The two things are different. Weakness is there only for technical reasons. So, so there is nothing in this hadith that contradicts the fact that the Holy Prophet Muhammad disliked war and he preferred peace. In fact, it reflects his encouragement of peace. An-Nawawi, he expressed the orthodox position that the scholars among hadith specialists and jurists have said that it is permissible and recommended, not just permissible, recommended, that in matters concerning good conduct, virtue, morals, encouraging virtues, discouraging immorality, that we can use weak hadith as long as they are not forged or fabricated. But this isn't the only one. The Holy Prophet Muhammad also said, to seek knowledge, if you have to go to China, then go to China. And that then takes us to the next point, that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions were in Medina. And the Holy Prophet is asking people to go to China. So what were they going to learn in China? Arabic? The Holy Quran? Of course not. They were going to learn what are called secular branches of knowledge. Mathematics and physics and chemistry and botany and zoology and astronomy and medicine and whatever else you have. Now let's look at the Holy Quran, which is, because Ramadan is the anniversary of revelation of the Holy Quran. And it took mostly illiterate Arabs. There were very few who could read or write. It took them, and within a few years, it turned them into a most, at that time, cultured, civilized people. And, and it didn't take hundreds of years. Within a very short time, the Holy Quran achieved this. How did it do that? By encouraging Muslims to attain knowledge. And in many ways, it did that. The Holy Quran is full of economics and family law and physics and mathematics and astronomy and so on. Just making general points. Verses like, do they not reflect? Do they not reflect on this? Do they not reflect on that? What was the point of saying this? What would you do if you reflected on those things? You would gain knowledge. This takes us back to what? Read the Holy Quran, especially during Ramadan. So what are you going to do? Just parrot fashion recite from Bismillah to one Nas without understanding one single word of what you read? Is that what the Holy Quran means? Is that what took those illiterate Arabs to the pinnacle of civilization? That they were doing things parrot fashion? No. It's to reflect upon it. The Holy Quran says reflect, think, reflect, think. Apart from that, the Holy Quran encourages you. It positively encourages Muslims to spend money to gain knowledge. I mean, the example I gave of the Holy Prophet in saying, go to China if you have to. At his time, you didn't have the Fulbright scholarship where the American government would finance your travel and other things to, they financed them to go to America, not to China, but still, you had to find money from your own pocket. You had to sustain yourself by your own means. And indeed, if to attain knowledge, you have to postpone fasting. It allows you to do that. This answers the question that students always ask. I've got exams coming during Ramadan. What should I do? The Holy Quran allows for that. If for whatever reason you can't fast, fast on some other day. Or feed a poor person. The Holy Prophet Muhammad said that wisdom is the lost property of a Muslim. And the one who finds it is the most deserving of it. The following hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad is worth remembering. One who proceeds on a path in pursuit of knowledge, God makes him proceed therewith on a path to paradise. And verily, the angels spread their wings for the seeker of the knowledge out of delight. Verily, every creature of the heavens and the earth asks forgiveness for the seeker after knowledge. Even the fish in the ocean pray for such a person. The merit of the learned over the devout is like the merit of the moon over the stars on a full moon night. Listen to this carefully. The merit of a learned person over the devout, this is devout without knowledge, is like the merit of the moon over the stars on a full moon night. Which would you prefer if you were lost in darkness? Which would you prefer? The moon, full moon, that is, which gives you light and guides you? And the learned, the scholar, is compared to that. Learned are the heirs of the prophets. For the prophets did not leave behind a legacy of wealth, but that of knowledge. There's another one that we often use, Ulama Umtika Ambiya Bani Israel, that scholars of this nation are comparable to the prophets, to the Israelite prophets. Not only seeking knowledge, but also imparting knowledge is regarded as a charitable and a good deed. There is something called Sadqa Jariya, which means continuing, ongoing good deeds or charity. And teaching is regarded as Sadqa Jariya. So that if you teach someone something good, if you teach someone and they go out and they become a doctor or a lawyer or another teacher, in their profession, the good that they do, its reward is shared with their teachers, with their parents. If their parents also guided them or paid for them and so on. This is why scholars and teachers are given a very high place in Islamic society. This, what I'm about to say may sound a bit extreme, but it used to be said that when parents took their child to school for admission, boy or girl, they would say to the teacher, his flesh is yours, his bones are mine. Meaning, you can cane him, punish him, but not so severely that you break his bones. They don't say that anymore, unfortunately, in some cases. But the point was to show you the high regard in which parents held their teachers. When I was punished at school, and it was corporal punishment, you held out your hands and you were hit with a cane or a ruler or something. Do you think I went home and told my parents? No. Why not? Because my parents would have been even more angry with me, not the teacher. They would have said, do you think your teacher is mad that he's punishing you without any reason? What did you do wrong to merit that punishment? And I would get an extra punishment from my parents. That reflects the high regard and esteem in which teachers were held in Islamic society. They still are. They still are. The Islamic world, the scholars it produced, they influenced Western Europe. Enlightenment wouldn't have come had it not been for the scholarship of Muslims. You know what was the most popular language that people wanted to learn in medieval Europe? Was it English? Was it French? Was it German? Was it Chinese? It was Arabic. And why was it Arabic? Because people said there are more books in Arabic on every topic under the sun than all the other languages of Europe combined. And they would then translate those books into Latin and other languages and so on, so other people could understand. Is that the case now? Unfortunately not. Now, one Western country, United Kingdom, forget about Australia and Canada and United States and so on. United Kingdom has more universities and research institutions, just one country, than all of the Muslim countries combined together. So why is it that we make an innocent face and we say, and ask the question, we are behind. Why are we behind? Because we've given up seeking knowledge. And instead, we just seek to make as much money as we can, as quickly as we can. Forget the means and so on. And I end by requesting you to read the whole of the Holy Quran during Ramadan, but not parrot fashion. Please try and understand it. You know, when we had the first quarantine, I think maybe it was it January or February last year? February last year. Before that, or around that time, someone suggested that we start a daily kind of lesson of the Holy Quran. So I said, okay. And I started taking one word of the Holy Quran and then explaining it, how it's used in different passages of the Holy Quran. And you know how far we've got? Since last February to this April, we are only at verse 85 of the second chapter of the Holy Quran. In a whole year. So can you imagine how much concentration and energy and effort you have to put in if you really want to understand the message and guidance of the Holy Quran? Just like people make New Year's resolutions, I request you to make a resolution this Ramadan that you will go through it. You don't have to listen to my ramblings on Radio Virtual Mosque. You can do it yourself. Take just one word of the Holy Quran. See where else it is used in the Holy Quran, and in what sense and what message it's trying to give. I'm amazed at the things I've discovered in the Holy Quran that I haven't found in any translation, in any commentary, or anything. Barakallahu lana wa lakum fil Quranil azim wa nafa'ana wa iyyakum bil ayati wa zikril hakim innahu ta'ala jawadun kareemun malikun barrufur rahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka हमीदुम मजीद। अल्लाहुम्मा बारिक अला मुहम्मदिन व अला आलि मुहम्मदिन कमा बारकता अला इब्राहीम व अला आलि इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद। अल्लाहुम्मा अंसुर मन नसर दीन मुहम्मदिन सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम वजअलना वख्जुल मन खज़ल दीन मुहम्मदिन सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम वला तजअलना मिनहुम। इबादल्लाह रहमुकुमुल्लाह, इन्नल्लाह यामुरु बिल अदलि वल इहसानि व इताइ ज़िल कुर्बा व यन्हा अनिल फ़हशाइ वल मुनकरि वल बग़ि यइज़ुकुम लअल्लकुम तज़क्करून। उज़्कुरुल्लाह यज़्कुरकुम वद्ऊहु यस्तजिब लकुम व लज़िक्रुल्लाहि अकबर वल्लाहु यअलमु मा तस्नऊन। Ready?
Yep.
अल्लाहु अकबर अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह हिय्या सलाह हिय्या फलाह क़द क़ामतिस सलाह क़द क़ामतिस सलाह। अल्लाहु अकबर ला इलाहा अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अर्रहमानिर रहीम मालिकि यौमिद्दीन इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन इहदिनस सिरातल मुस्तकीम सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमता अलैहिम गैरिल मग़दूबि अलैहिम वलद्दोल्लीन। आमीन। इन्ना अंज़लनाहु फी लैलतिल क़द्र वमा अदराका मा लैलतुल क़द्र लैलतुल क़द्र खैरुम मिन अल्फि शहर तनज़्ज़लुल मलाइकतु वर्रूहु फ़ीहा बिइज़्नि रब्बिहिम मिन कुल्लि अम्र सलामुन हय्या हत्ता मत्लइल फज्र। अल्लाहु अकबर। समी अल्लाहु लिमन हमिदा।
रब्बना
अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अर्रहमानिर रहीम मालिकि यौमिद्दीन इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन इहदिनस सिरातल मुस्तकीम सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमता अलैहिम गैरिल मग़दूबि अलैहिम वलद्दोल्लीन। आमीन। वल अस्र इन्नल इंसाना लफ़ी खुस्र إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده.
ربنا.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله محمد اللهم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أستغفر الله واستغفر ربنا آتنا اللهم. Thank you for joining us for our Friday service. We say an early Ramzan Mubarak to you. It's starting, some people are starting on Wednesday, some people are starting on Tuesday, and so on. Whichever day you're starting on, may Allah accept your fasting and bless you for the sacrifices you will be making. Our next broadcast is going to be on Sunday morning, all day. Dawat in the CMO, it's at 2 p.m. In the afternoon. And then, of course, during Ramadan, there'll be a slight change to our program, which is that the broadcasts we do, called Tadabburul Quran, they will start 1 hour before before breaking of the fast, rather than at 7 to 8 p.m. as they do at the moment. So please do try and join us for those broadcasts. With the prayer that whoever you are and wherever you may be, may Allah keep all of you safe and sound and free from harm. Assalamu alaikum. Khuda hafiz. Goodbye.